Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something super exciting in Volleyball Legends, the abilities. You know, those special moves that can totally turn the tide of a match. Yeah, they might not win you the game on their own, but when used at the right moment, they can absolutely make the difference between a close win and a crushing defeat. The thing is, not all abilities are created equal. Some are total game changers, while others, well, let's just say they're a little less flashy. So, if you're wondering which abilities are worth your time and which ones might leave you wishing you had something stronger, you're in the right place. We're going through the Volleyball Legends abilities tier list today. Whether you're a casual player or aiming for that pro-level gameplay, we'll help you figure out which abilities fit your style and which ones to avoid when the pressure's on. Let's get into it and break down the best and not so best abilities in the game. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking abilities in Volleyball Legends. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Moonball and Team Spirit. Alright, let's dive into the abilities in Volleyball Legends, and today we're checking out two that, honestly, aren't exactly winning any MVP trophies. Yup, we're talking about Moonball and Team Spirit. Both are sitting comfortably in the C tier. First up, Moonball. Sounds cool, right? I mean, it makes the ball float up like it's in space, only to drop like a rock. And while it's definitely a fun concept, the problem here is that it's super predictable. You throw the ball and everyone knows it's going to plummet to the ground like it's got gravity's full attention. This makes it pretty easy for your opponents to anticipate and block. It's one of those moves where you think, oh, that could have been great, but the execution just falls flat, pun intended. Next, we've got Team Spirit, which is supposed to give your entire team a nice little speed boost. Sounds like a solid team play ability, right? Well, here's the catch. It fades out way too quickly compared to something like Super Sprint. And to make matters worse, it's hard to figure out when exactly your team really needs that extra boost. Is your squad about to make an amazing comeback? Maybe, but you don't know for sure, and by the time you do, that boost is already gone. It's one of those abilities that just doesn't feel reliable when you really need it. So why are they in the C tier? Well, they've got some charm, but when it comes down to strategy, they're a bit more like a trick than a game changer. Moonball, easy to dodge, Team Spirit, hard to time. These two abilities might look cool in theory, but they're just not cutting it in the fast-paced world of Volleyball Legends. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Super Sprint, Rolling Thunder, and Curve Spike. Alright, let's talk about some abilities in Volleyball Legends that are a bit of a mixed bag. They're good, but you really need to put in the work to make them shine. If you're not careful, you might find yourself scrambling to use them at the wrong time, but when they hit hard. Let's dive into some B tier abilities that definitely pack a punch when you know how to use them. First up, we've got Super Sprint. This ability is pretty straightforward. It makes you run super fast for a good while. Sounds great, right? Well, it can be, but it's tricky. The thing is, speed is only useful if you can time it right. If you're not careful, you'll end up sprinting at the wrong moment, and that's a wasted opportunity. But when you nail that perfect timing, you'll feel like you're untouchable, zipping around the court while your opponents wonder where you went. Next, let's talk about Rolling Thunder. You know those moments when the ball is about to drop and you just can't reach it in time? Well, that's where this ability comes in. It helps you close the gap when you're diving to save the ball. Sounds like a lifesaver, right? It's not without its challenges though. The distance you get from this move is pretty solid, but it's a bit tricky to master. You've got to be quick and precise, or else you'll just be diving for nothing. Once you get the hang of it though, you'll be saving those impossible shots like a pro. Now, let's get into the Curve Spike. Oh, this one is sneaky. You know how satisfying it is to throw a curveball in a game, right? Well, imagine being able to curve the ball while you're spiking it. That's exactly what this ability lets you do. You spike the ball and it curves in the direction you're tilting. Opponents? They won't see it coming. It's a solid move to throw off the other team and score some cheeky points. The catch is, it's not as easy as just tilting your controller. You've got to get your timing and angle just right to pull it off, but when you do, you'll leave your opponents guessing. These abilities are definitely fun to use, but it's important to know when and where to apply them. If you just throw them out there without thinking, you might find yourself out of position and regretting it. The key is practice. Get familiar with the timing of super sprint, the distance of rolling thunder, and the angles for curve spike. Once you've got them dialed in, you'll start to see their true potential. It's all about making those abilities work for you, not against you. Sure, they can be a little tricky, but that's what makes mastering them so rewarding. And hey, if you're already good with your basic skills, adding these to your toolkit will take your game to the next level. Keep at it, practice makes perfect, and before you know it, you'll be pulling off moves that will leave everyone in awe. So yeah, even though these abilities might seem like a bit of a challenge at first, they're definitely worth the effort. When you start landing those clutch dives and curveball spikes, you'll realize that all the practice paid off. Keep working on your timing, and soon enough, these B-tier abilities will feel like A-tier moves in your hands. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, boom jump, steel block. Alright, let's dive into some of the coolest abilities in Volleyball Legends that are sure to make your gameplay a whole lot more fun and of course more powerful. I'm talking about the boom jump and steel block. These two are absolute game changers when used right. Let me break it down for you. First up, we have the boom jump. Now, this one's for all of you who love a good high-flying dramatic move. You see a ball coming at you and you're just too high up for it to even touch you? Well, that's the power of boom jump. It gives you a massive boost in the air, letting you not only avoid balls that would have smashed into your face, but also position yourself for a super sneaky counterattack. But hey, just a heads up, don't go jumping for every single ball. Sometimes less is more. Aim for the perfect moment and make it count. Now, onto the steel block. This ability is like having your own personal wall on the court. When you use it to block, you don't just stop the ball, oh no, you send it straight down, like a mini missile aimed at the opponent's feces. It's super annoying for them, and I mean, who doesn't love a good challenge? Plus, if you time it just right, you can turn the whole block into a chance to score points. That's the kind of strategy that will have your team cheering you on like you're the MVP. Together, these abilities make a killer combo, especially when you need to turn the tide in your favor. The boom jump lets you to soar and dodge with style, while the steel block gives you that sharp edge in defense, and both can really mess with your opponent's rhythm. So remember, timing is everything. Use them wisely and you'll be a force to be reckoned with on that court. The abilities in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, redirection jump and zero gravity set. Let's talk about two abilities that totally change the game in Volleyball Legends, ones that take your gameplay to a whole new level. If you've ever played, you probably know these moves are the real MVPs. First up, we've got the redirection jump, and trust me, if you haven't mastered it yet, you're missing out. It's like having an unfair advantage, and honestly, it's so easy to use. Just hit the ball, and with a little flick of your finger, you can change the angle mid-air and send that ball flying into the perfect spot. Whether you're trying to outsmart your opponent or just show off, this move is a total game changer. It's that effective. No wonder they call it a godly ability. It deserves the hype. Now, let's talk about another move that pairs perfectly with the redirection jump, the zero gravity set. Imagine this, you're on the ground, but with this ability, you can set up the ball for the ultimate spike, and I mean ultimate. If you're a setter, this ability is like having a cheat code. You can set the ball up to line it up perfectly for your teammates, and boom, you're ready for a flawless spike. It's all about giving your team that perfect setup, and zero gravity does it like no other. Seriously, it takes the pressure off you and suddenly, you're the playmaker on the court. What's really wild is how these abilities complement each other. If you've got a good setter with zero gravity, they set you up, and then you can use redirection jump to hit it at that insane angle that no one expects. It feels like you're working in tandem with the game itself and the opponent. They'll never know what hit them. The moves feel effortless, like you're in control of the ball's fate. And that's what makes them so satisfying to use. So, whether you're spiking from mid-air with the redirection jump or setting up a killer shot with zero gravity, these abilities make you feel like you're the star of the show. And let's be real, who doesn't want to be the one everyone's watching? When these moves click, you're not just playing, you're dominating. So, next time you hit the court, make sure you've got these abilities in your arsenal and get ready to take your game to godly levels. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.